Hello, I'm on my way to the Chicago Women's Park and Gardens on Chicago's near north side, a place that I haven't explored a whole lot. It's near Chinatown. I'm also heading to potentially the oldest house in Chicago. Oh yeah, and a geocache. Come along with me. Oh, and I think that's Chicago's oldest house, the Clark House. And there do appear to be gardens around it for exploring. There's a slightly better look at the Clark House. Now there is some discrepancy here because there's actually an older house built in 1833 here in Chicago, but that is in the Norwood Park section of Chicago, which is not an original section of Chicago. It wasn't always part of the city. And so this one, built in 1836, always was, and so it edges out to this other house for being the oldest. Onward. There you go. Would you look at that? I'm never in this area and have never explored this house or these gardens. But look at that. They look like they have little vegetable gardens out here. Clark House Museum. Now, I believe if the internet is to be trusted, and you know I always trust the internet, this is temporarily closed. They were doing tours of this place, open to the public up until 2022. And I'm not sure if they've reopened since then. Now I need to find a plaque around here because that's going to have some information I need to find this geocache. This is a multi-cache, which is a geocache found in multiple stages, in this case 2. And one of the plaques around here is going to have the information I need to find the final container. This says Chicago landmark Henry B. Clark House, 1836, known as the Widow Clark's House. This is Chicago's oldest building and its only surviving example of the Creek Revival style, fashionable of the 1800s. Well, how about that? These gardens are very cool. See some more statues of what appear to be handshakes and hands over here. Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me. I feel like this hand is Italian for some reason. Touching you. All right, if you're here, don't climb on the hands. What does this say? Social philosopher Jane Addams envisioned a peaceful world community based on cooperation, mutual understanding, and acceptance of differences. This first monument in Chicago to a woman is dedicated to Jane Addams and the many she served. It depicts different ages of humankind: gentle baby, vulnerable child, able adult, aging parent, hands comforting, helping, strong in solidarity. The hands recall Jane Addams' works. Perhaps nothing is so fraught with significance as the human hand. Okay, so these hands are actually a tribute to Jane Addams, founder of Hull House here in Chicago. Here, let me give you a full view of this Women Park and Gardens and also the Clark House behind me. It is quite peaceful here in the middle of the day on a Friday. Again, I've never been here, lots to explore. And I have to find that plaque that's going to give me the information about our geocache. I haven't found it yet. Yeah, it's really too bad that this isn't open to the public currently. I would love to go inside and take a tour of this place. It's just such a peaceful place to explore. But the plaque is actually outside the grounds, turns out. I think that's it right over here. It's gonna have the information we need to find the final stage of this cache, and hopefully I'll learn a little bit more about this house in particular, besides the fact that it's just old. It's right next to this bustling cafe, but let's see, Prairie Avenue Museum and Gardens. We got an area map here. Chicago's Women Park and Gardens. Oh, and they also have information on a variety of tours, different architecture tours of different homes and buildings around here as well. I'll have to take a look at that and see if our Clark House is on there. All right, Clark House. The Henry B. Clark family built their house in the Greek Revival style in 1836 near what is now 1625 South Michigan Avenue. In 1872, the house was sold and moved to 4526 South Wabash. That's not where we are. It was relocated to its present site, in 1977 and restored by the city of Chicago. Today it is known as the oldest house in Chicago. The Clarks purchased 20 acres of land on the shore of Lake Michigan in June 1835. Mr. Clark was a part owner in the hardware firm of Jones, King & Company, served as director of the Illinois State Bank, and augmented his income by hunting and selling game. Yeah, this area must have been pretty wild back at that time. Henry Clark died in the cholera epidemic of 1849. His widow, Caroline Palmer, subdivided the property in the early 1850s and made substantial improvements to the house. It was sold to John Crimes in 1872 and to St. Paul's Church of God in Christ in 1941. In 1977, it was acquired by the city of Chicago. The Clark House was restored and opened to the public in 1982, and is furnished in the period of 1836 to 1860 by the National Society of the Colonial Dames, Colonial Dames of America, back when dame meant something, in the state of Illinois. It is designated a Chicago landmark and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Prior to this being the fancy who's who architectural wonder kind of neighborhood it became in the later 1800s, around 1812, I think I have the date right, was the Fort Dearborn massacre that happened right around here, where over 50 people were killed by hostile natives. So less fun. Oh, and here's a little plaque about the Battle of Fort Dearborn, August 15th, 1812. From roughly 1620 to 1820, the territory of the Potawatomi extended from what is now Green Bay, Wisconsin to Detroit, Michigan, and included the Chicago area. In 1803, the United States government built Fort Dearborn at what is today Michigan Avenue and Wacker Drive as part of a strategic effort to protect lucrative trading in the area from the British. During the War of 1812 between the United States and Great Britain, some Indian tribes allied with the British to stop the westward expansion of the United States and to regain lost Indian lands. On August 15, 1812, more than 50 U.S. soldiers and 41 civilians, including women and 18 children, were ordered to evacuate Fort Dearborn. This group, almost the entire population of U.S. citizens in the Chicago area, marched south from Fort Dearborn along the shoreline of Lake Michigan until they reached this approximate site, where they were attacked by about 500 Potawatomi. In the battle and aftermath, more than 60 of the evacuees and 15 Native Americans were killed. In the 1830s, the Potawatomi of Illinois were forcibly removed to lands west of the Mississippi. Potawatomi Indian nations continue to thrive in Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Canada, and more than 36,000 American Indians from a variety of tribes reside in Chicago today. Anyway, I got sidetracked on this adventure. I'm going to head back to that plaque where the information I need for the geocache is. Also on that plaque, it talked a little bit about the Chicago Women's Park and Gardens. Was established in 1997 around the Clark House there. So it's supposed to look like a garden that could have been around at the time that the Clark House was built, but it's actually there to celebrate Chicago women throughout history and their accomplishments, which I think is a noteworthy and noble thing to do. And now it's run by the Park District, so hopefully they'll maintain it. Anyway, let me show you something that I didn't show you last time I was at this plaque, because I didn't want to draw attention and I wanted to show you some other things. Take a look at this. Switching to my phone camera for a moment because it does have zoom capabilities. If you look inside here, you can see the final coordinates for the cache. Very cool. Just put there on a sticker. I love it. I have now plugged those coordinates I just found into the geocaching app, and I know where the final cache should be. So pardon me as I cut one more time through these beautiful grounds here at the Clark House and the Chicago Women's Park and Gardens. All right, get excited folks, because the final cache container should be in these little trees here. They appear to be little cedar trees. All right, let's see if we can find this baby. Hopefully it's still here. Okay, that wasn't quite as easy to find, but I did find it. Take a look. Do you see this little greenish bison tube. That is our geocache. Inside is a piece of paper that I shall sign, and that shall prove to all that I did do my due diligence and did my homework and found this historical spot and found the correct information and found the cache. Also log it on the webpage. And there is my name hastily scrawled on that logbook, which I shall now return to its container. And wouldn't you know it, when I went to replace it, I accidentally broke the zip tie because it's probably an old one. So I'm gonna reattach this as best I can and let the cache owner know that this needs a little maintenance. Whoopsie, sorry about that. And there you have it, another geocache found in the beautiful city of Chicago, which has so much history and so many places that I've still never been in my 6 years of making these videos and 13 years of living here. So hopefully you enjoyed finding that cache with me and learned a little history with me as well. And we'll see you at the next video, everybody. Cheers.